Important video for anybody who's appearing in mains this year or preparing for the 2024 attempt. 5 mistakes that you should avoid in the essay paper of UPSC CSE. My name is Vikas Dhayal and I've scored 137 in the essay paper, which is a good score. And then through the essay program that I run on my Telegram, I've evaluated more than 1,000 copies. And based on that experience, I'm going to tell you the mistakes that you should avoid. And these are very important. So just watch this 10-minute odd video. Mistakes in selecting the topics out of the 4 choices that are given. So in your essay paper, there will be 2 sections. You must be knowing about it. Generally, what happens, the essay paper is given to you probably 5 to 2 minutes prior to the starting of the exam. So in that time, you must select, and after that, you can maybe utilize 2 to 5 minutes more. And then you must select the 2 topics that you are going to write on. So these topics should not be selected based on whether they are tough or not, whether they are easy or not, or based on 2 parameters. So that will make it more objective for you. Ideally, before starting to write the essay paper, you should select both of the topics, so it becomes easy for you in the second half. So the 2 parameters based on which you should basically decide which essay to pick is, first of all, having a good creative intro which can hook the reader to the essay. So here, you should think about if you are able to come up with a good introduction for any of these topics. If you are able to come up with a good introduction, good anecdote which can hook the reader, then you should go with it. Now it happens that you can come up with introductions for 2 topics, then what you should do? Then the second parameter, which is very important, is thinking of a good antithesis or a parallel dimension. I'm going to talk about it later, but if you can come up with an antithesis, then your essay becomes very critical, better, unique, as well as it gives a good impression to the evaluator. So the second blunder, second mistake, it's more than a mistake, it's a blunder if you don't do it. So writing the antithesis or parallel dimension for the essay topic. What is an antithesis? So for example, this was the 2022 essay paper that we got. So here this particular student, whoever this paper is belonging to, so in this paper he has selected a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ship is for. So here, if you are choosing this topic, for example, in this particular copy, this topic has been chosen, then what you must do, you must think of an antithesis first or a parallel dimension if there is no antithesis. So antithesis is basically just the opposite of what the subject says. So the subject says here, for example, if you pick this one, the ship is in harbor, it's safe, but that is not what ship is for. So this means that you need to come out of your comfort zone, you should take some risks. So at the same time, you should not write about taking risk and getting out of your comfort zone, etc. Throughout the essay, you must write the antithesis as well. That makes your essay more critical and it makes your essay better compared to others. So here maybe the antithesis can be, you should take risks, but you should also be very pragmatic and practical about it. If the sea is roaring or if the sea is rough, then you should not go out. That is very practical. You should not, like a fool, always take the risk without calculating the the danger that is there. So that can be a good antithesis, and then you can develop different dimensions, as I've shown in the tutorial for essay from scratch that you can watch in the playlist. For example, this topic is there: history is a series of victories won by scientific man over romantic man. So do not write throughout the essay that history is just about scientific man winning over romantic man. You should also write about the antithesis of it. Here you should write that it's not just scientific man who always wins. Sometimes romantic man also wins. Similarly, time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. If you want to write on that, then you must also write on the antithesis of it, that sometimes the time when sun shines doesn't come. So in that particular moment or in that particular situation, you have to take a call and do it when even the sun is not shining. So for example, during the COVID pandemic, you can wait for the COVID pandemic to end, but it did not end for a very long time. So if there are some steps to be taken just to save livelihoods, then you have to take it. So things like that you can add in the dimensions. Now I'm also talking about a parallel dimension. Look here, it is an antithesis or a parallel dimension. Sometimes you will not find a proper antithesis of something. So for example, this essay, poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. So here, if you are not able to find an antithesis, a complete opposite dimension for this topic, then you can maybe write a parallel dimension. So parallel dimension can be not just poets. There are many others not acknowledged as legislators. So here you can write about other people who are not acknowledged. So here you can maybe write about artists who are not acknowledged. You can write about other professions which are not acknowledged. So you can write a parallel dimension this way. Mistake number 3, dragging the intro to 2 pages or beyond that. So for example, this is how your copy is given to you. This is page number 1 and 2. You start your anecdote from here, your introduction from here. You write the introduction, you write 2 paragraphs. Symmetry says that if you write 2 paragraphs on a particular page or 3 paragraphs throughout the essay in all the pages, then it looks more symmetrical, and then it gives good impression. But if you're talking about the introduction, if you keep writing the anecdote to the time the second page also finishes, or maybe some people like fill in the third page as well with the introduction, that is a big blunder that you can make. Ideally, it should be 1.25 pages that you can fill with the introduction along with the connecting paragraph which is going to tell what you are going to do in the essay paper. For example, people write it. There's a good way of writing about it, writing an essay topic, that what is going to come in the essay paper. This is what we are going to evaluate. This is what we are going to see. That you can mention till here, and after that you must start the essay topic. So from here you should start the essay topic, because the topic of the essay is the entire subject and not just the introduction. If you do not if you drag it till 2 pages or more than that, then you will compromise upon either the points in the body or in the conclusion. The fourth important mistake that you should avoid is not deciding the conclusion before you start writing the essay. Yes, introduction, conclusion, body, everything must be decided, particularly the conclusion. Generally, I have seen in the copies, more often than not, I will say more than 95% people do not think of a good conclusion. They spend very less time during structuring on the conclusion. So you should spend some good time on conclusion, because after reading the conclusion, the examiner is going to give you marks. So your conclusion should leave a good impression. So on all the topics that you have selected during the structuring that you do for 15 to 20 minutes, how it should be done, I've told that in a video that you can find on the playlist of writing essays from scratch, or you can refer to the Telegram link in the description. I'll also put the link of the playlist in the description as well. There you can see. The fifth mistake, not writing on the topic of the essay throughout the 10 to 12 pages. This is also something that I've come across very often, that people will just pick one keyword from the essay and then write more about it rather than writing about the entire subject. You need to write on the entire subject and not only on a particular keyword or just one part of it. You should write on the entire subject throughout the 1000 to 1200 words that you get for writing an essay. So for example, either like for example this particular essay, history is a series of victories won by scientific men. Either they will just write about scientific men winning, they will not juxtapose it with romantic man. So scientific man wins, but he is winning over romantic man. That you also need to show. So should be a constant juxtaposition of scientific man winning over romantic man. That should continue throughout the essay, and it should also show a series of victories. It should be in a series. So that is something that you are supposed to do. Write on the entire subject of the essay, and not pick and choose one keyword and then write more about it and give less space to other keywords and the entire feeling of the essay and entire meaning of the essay. So these are the 5 mistakes you should avoid. If you like the video, let me know in the comments, because that propels me to make more such informative and useful videos for you. And please subscribe to the channel. My Telegram links are in the description. Thank you so much.